Everybody, good morning. Welcome to a little breathe and move, a little yoga practice, just to get some movement in our bodies and to maybe slow down our thoughts, slow down any bad energy that we might be feeling from the week, and just to transfer that bad energy out of our body and bring in some new good energy. So I welcome you to follow along, do any suggestions that I offer. Feel free to amp it up if you want to amp it up, if you need a little bit more. Feel free to modify, use blocks. This practice can be done by anybody, so let's try, huh? I invite you to find a position on your mat, on your back, that feels good for you. Maybe start to shut down your eyes. Take up space. Let the toes fall open. Let the shoulders start to melt into the mat a little bit, so walk them away from the ears. With your eyes closed down, just start to find a nice big breath in through the nose as you fill the belly, and then opening the mouth, maybe sighing it out, exhaling it out. Keeping the eyes closed down, let's try to find some nice big breaths like this. Drawing the breath in through the nose to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding it at the top and exhaling it out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a rest, take a pause, take a breath on your own in between. Little by little, feel your muscles start to relax. Not an easy thing to do sometimes. One more breath in through the nose to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe holding it at the top. And then opening the lips and exhaling it out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find pause, find rest, and find a breath on your own. Take one more of these on your own before we begin. Feel the body start to melt a little bit more into the mat. Toes might turn to the sides a little bit more. Feel the back of the head melt into the mat. Then when you're ready for some movement, start to wiggle the toes, maybe wiggling out the fingers. Feel free to roll the wrists or roll out the ankles if that feels good for you. You might walk the feet to the center of the mat, windshield wiper the knees side to side, little love to the back, little love to the hips. And then sending those arms all the way overhead, walk the feet a step in towards the sit bones. Little early bridge pose here. Palms are up to the sky. Take a nice big breath. And then lift the hips as good as it feels. Feel the shoulders and the back press into the mat, grounding down into all 4 corners of the feet. Take a nice big breath in. And on the exhale, maybe you lift those hips a little bit higher. One breath here as you watch the rise and fall of your belly. Slow release of those hips down. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Knees come into the chest. Up to you if you want to stay grounded and supported. Or maybe you draw the nose up, wrapping the arms around the shins. Find little rocks side to side if that feels good. If you notice a spot that's tender or a little tense, feel free to give it a little extra love. Roll back and forth on it a few times. The left foot's going to drop to the mat. Inhale that right leg all the way up to the sky. Go ahead and start to wake it up. Point and flex that foot. Feel the front of the leg, the back of the leg, and maybe you bring in some ankle rolls if that feels good. If you want a little more, hands can find the back of the thigh or walk them up the calf, drawing the nose up to the knee. Just relax the shoulders away from the ears. Flexing those toes towards the nose. Setting the head and shoulders down. That flexed foot is going to draw over the left knee. Arms fall to a cactus or a T. Push that right knee towards me, opening up the hip. And if you want a little bit more, maybe left leg lifts off the mat. Feel free to bring hands to the back of the thigh if that feels better. 2 breaths here. And if you need the movement, you can rock the head side to side or wiggle out the wrists. Slow set of that foot down. Take a nice big breath and take a twist over to the left on the exhale, dropping that right foot over to the left. Pop the knee up to the sky and then draw the chin over the right shoulder. Both shoulders are planted here. Nice breaths on your own. Every exhale is softening the area where you feel the stretch. Try to relax it. And then relax the jaw, unclench the teeth. Next breath in is going to draw the knees up through center. Over to the right in a counter twist. So that right heel is going to drag the left knee over. Doesn't matter how far down you go, you just want a nice stretch through the left hip. 2 breaths here. Nice intentional breath. Next breath is going to draw the knees up through center. Unhook that right foot. Take a hug in with the knees. This time, part them towards the armpits. Nice flex in both feet. 3 breaths as you circle the knees in towards each other and away. Making these circles as big or as small as it feels good for you. We hold a lot of emotions, a lot of tension in our hips. So sometimes this can be a big move for everybody. Next 3 breaths, circle them the opposite direction, away from each other, and then towards. When the knees come together, right foot finds the mat. Inhale that left leg all the way up to the sky. Start to wake it up, point and flex that foot. Same thing, feel free, if a little kindness, it's okay to stay supported by the ground, or maybe you need a little more, drawing the hands up to the thigh, nose up towards the knee, walking it up to the calf. Find movement if you need it in the ankle, rolling it out, and then relax those shoulders away from the ears. Slow release of the head and shoulders down, arms to a cactus or a T, flexing through that left foot, start to cross it over the right knee, press that left knee towards me, opening up the hip. Option to stay down with that right foot, or if you want a little bit more, right leg would raise. Hands can also find the back of the thigh if it feels better for support. 2 breaths. Slow release of that right foot to the mat. Finding our twist here, nice big breath as you look up to the sky. Taking it over to the right on your exhale, and then pop that knee up to the sky. Chin draws over the left shoulder. 2 nice big breaths here. Send the exhales to the rib area to soften the back where you feel the stretch and the hip. Nice big breaths. To our counter twist. Next breath in the core is going to raise the knees up through center. Left heel is going to drag that right knee over towards the left. Switching the stretch of the hips here. Not worrying about how far down you go. Gravity actually takes you a millimeter down each time you exhale. So just finding your breaths here, feeling the stretch. Next breath is going to raise the knees up through center. Left leg is going to go to the sky. So is the right in our waterfall pose. Take some movement in the feet if it feels better. Hands can always come down by your sides for a little extra support. Flexing through both feet, take a nice big breath. Right heel is going to lower to hover on your exhale. Inhale, point the toes and send it back up to the sky. 2 more on the right side. Nice big breath, flex. Exhale is going to lower to hover. Inhale, points it back up. 1 more breath on your own. Inhale and point it back up to the sky. Good, give a little roll at the ankles if you need it, maybe a little hug in with the knees. As we go to the other side, legs go up into waterfall. Nice big breath, flex through the left foot. Exhale is going to lower it to hover. Inhale, points and sends it back up to the sky. Exhale, flex. Lower it to hover. Inhale it up. Last one. Your own breath, your own pace. Hugging the knees into the chest. Let's draw our nose up. Take a stretch. Take a breath in. And then set yourself down. Relax the belly. 2 more times. Inhale, draws us up. Exhale, sets us down. Relax the belly. 1 more time. Exhale, sets us down and relaxes us. Lessening the bend of the knees, hands are going to find the back of the thighs. Find a few rocks the length of your spine. Maybe you need a few extra today. Whatever you're feeling here. Landing up in our high boat pose. So when you get there, drag the shoulders towards the knees, drag the chest towards the knees, roll the shoulders back. Staying supported, you can always touch your toes down if you need to. Inhale is going to raise the arms up. Exhale is going to take an unsupported twist to the right. Inhale leads us to the center. Exhale takes us over to the left. Inhale draws us up. This time we find a cross of the legs, any way that feels good for you. Take a moment, get tall, and then take a side bend to the right. So right hand's going to plant, left arm goes all the way up and overhead. And let's make this a moving one. So inhale, lift, give a little weight. Exhale takes a fold. Inhale up, give a little wave, fold it over. Eyes are under that left armpit. Inhale lifts us, give a little wave. Exhale folds us, and maybe we walk that right hand out a little bit more, making the fold a little bit bigger. Beautiful, coming back to center. Inhale those arms up. Eyes go up for a slight back bend. 2 breaths. Relaxing those shoulders down, spin the pinkies in. Eyes come to me. Take a nice big breath. Take a side bend over to the left. Plant the left hand. Sweep that right arm up and overhead. Same thing here. Make it moving meditation. Inhale up. Give a little wave of the wrist. Exhale, folds you. Inhale up. Little wave. Exhale, folds you. 1 more time. Little wave of the wrist, and then maybe you walk it out a little bit more this time, sending that right arm all the way overhead. 2 breaths as you look under that right armpit. Coming back through center, plant the hands, roll over the legs or sweep them to the side. Walk yourself to a tabletop pose. Hands are under the shoulders, fingers are nice and tented, so we want weight in our fingertips, not just our wrists. Maybe you close down the eyes. As we inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, maybe even pinch those shoulder blades together. Exhale, be dramatic with it. Push the ground away, really open up the spine and the shoulder blades. Inhale to a cow back, maybe even dip, pinch the shoulders together. Exhale, round the spine and tuck. Now these don't have to be so traditional. You have a few more to do on your own. Maybe you add in a little wiggle of your tail, or drop of your head side to side, a shoulder or two. Listen to your own body here, what feels good. Beautiful. Coming down one forearm at a time, palms are down behind you, down to the mat. Stretch the chest back, third eye to the mat, take a nice breath here. And then slow come up. Shoulders are over the elbows. Walk the feet back, coming to our forearm plank pose. A few breaths here, so if you need some movement, take some rocks side to side, or maybe you need back and forth. Slow dip of the hips, untuck the toes. Sphinx pose. Drag the pelvis forward, roll the shoulders back. Chin up a little bit. 2 nice big breaths here. Good. Coming to a half frog. Flexing through the left foot. Bend the knee, drag it up the left side of the mat. This can be a little intense, so go gentle. We just want that hip to open up a smidge. Good. Start to lower yourself off your forearms. Right hand comes out to the right side of you, palm down. Right temple meets the mat. Left fingertips are going to find the left side of your mat, and we're going to take a little shoulder stretch here. So gentle roll over. Maybe that left leg comes behind you. Popping that knee up to the sky. You can stay supported here, or maybe you take a bind by wrapping that left arm behind your back into your pocket. Nice breaths. Slow roll back to the belly. Stacking the hands, third eye down, bending those knees and windshield wiper the feet side to side. Dropping those toes behind you. Find one forearm at a time, Sphinx pose. Roll the shoulders back, drag the pelvis forward. Half frog on the other side. So start to bend, flex through the right foot, start to bend the knee. Slow drag of it up the right side of your mat. Opening that hip a little bit. Good, taking that shoulder stretch over to the other side, so start to release yourself from your forearms. Left hand goes to the left side of you, palm down. Left temple meets the mat. Right fingertips find the right side of your mat. As you take that slow roll over to the left, maybe right leg comes behind you. Staying supported here, or maybe you take that bind if you took it on the other side, wrapping that hand behind the back. Few breaths. Slow roll to the belly. Undo the arm. Sphinx pose. Drag the pelvis forward. Maybe this time we make it a little bit more, walking those hands out in front of us and then peeling the belly button off the mat. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears here. Beautiful. Bringing the third eye down, hands find underneath your shoulders. Big breath is going to push you up off the ground. Stretch it all the way back. So walk the hands, stacking the chest on top of the thighs. Find a breath. Good. Slow come up with the cat back. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders. Send the hips down, chin goes up. One breath. Taking it all the way back. Send it all the way back. Exhale it out at the back of your mat. Inhale draws you up with the cat back. Shoulders over the wrists. Dip the hips. Chin goes up. Exhale it out. One more time. Inhale takes you back. Exhale sets it down at the back of the mat. Inhale lifts you. Dip the hips. Chin goes up. Exhale it out. Coming back. Taking the stretch to the back of the mat. Good. Slowly coming up to your tabletop pose. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Start to tuck those toes behind you. Nice and strong, pushing the ground away. We start to hover those knees off the mat. If you want to rock it side to side, you can rock. Just keep those hips low, knees low. And then set the knees down. Nice breath in is going to lift the knees off. Maybe a little higher. Exhale sets it down and relaxes you. Inhale lifts you up. A little higher each time. Exhale sets it down and relaxes you. One more time, a little higher, big breath. Chest towards the thighs a little bit. Exhale sets you down and relaxes you. Inhaling it all the way up to our downward facing dog this time. Inhale lifts the knees, stretch the chest towards the thighs, and then pedal out your first downward facing dog. Nice big breath on your own here. It doesn't matter where your heels are. All that matters is that you stretch that chest towards the thighs and push the mat away with your palms. Good. Left leg is going to inhale up. Flexing through the foot. We'll hug it in, roll it forward. Inhale, we'll send it all the way back. Exhale, hug it in. This time, plant that foot in between the hands. Right heel's going to spin in. Toes are out back there. Press the ground away. We're coming to our warrior one here. So hips are like headlights to me. Right hip comes forward. When you're ready, arms go up. And then relax the shoulders down. Good, nice breath. We straighten the leg. Exhale, bend in cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, bend, maybe a little deeper this time. Inhale, lifts us. Exhale, bends us. Inhale, up. This time we'll bend in the knee and we find hands underneath that left thigh. Eyes are looking at the left toe. 2 breaths here. Pressing into that foot, we raise ourselves up. Arms go up to the sky. Right heel is going to lift at the back of the mat. Nice big breath as we cactus. Slow bend of that knee down as we reach the mat and then untuck the toe. Walking that left foot forward, crescent lunge. So take a minute, press those hips to me and then sweep the arms up. Relaxing the shoulders down. Beautiful. Moving meditation here. Breath comes in, we lean back a little bit, open the ribs. On the exhale, we find our runner's lunge. Left toes lift, arms go back, maybe chest drops. 2 more times, moving with our breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale, sends it back. And then we stay, planting the hands here or our blocks. Give a little wiggle of that foot back and forth, waking up our hamstring. You can stay here or you can come with me. Right hand stays. Left hand's going to find the left hip and the eyes find the left wall wherever you are. 2 breaths. Starting to bring the palm to the back of the mat. Wrap it around the back into the right pocket. And then turn the eyes up over the left shoulder. Beautiful. Keeping the mind, walk into the bend of that left foot. Right hand's going to plant. Now you can stay here with this knee fully supported, or maybe you tuck that toe behind you and lift the knee up, and then slowly extend that left arm to the sky. Easy twist. Left hand comes down to frame out that left foot. Left foot goes back to meet the right, dropping the knees down. Hands under the shoulders. Body goes forward with your breath in. Elbows hug the body. On the exhale, lower the chest and chin. Slither it forward. And if you're ready for a back bend, a cobra, take it. If not, be gentle with yourself. Setting it back, opening the knees wide, child's pose. Big toes come to touch here. Press into the mat, pressing the sit bones into the heels. And then relax the third eye down. 2 breaths. You might take a rock of the third eye side to side. Meeting us in tabletop pose. And then meeting us in your downward facing dog. Continue to pedal it out if you need it, if you need the movement. Take a bend in one knee and then the other. Hips are square to the mat, so are the shoulders. We'll inhale that right leg up, flexing through the foot. Hug it in, roll it forward, press the ground away. Inhale, lifts it. Exhale, hugs it in, and plant that foot in between the hands. Spinning that left heel in, toe out, press the ground away. Rotate those hips to me, left hip comes forward. Arms go up when you feel ready. Warrior 1, relax those shoulders down. Good. Straighten the legs, take a breath. Exhale, bend in cactus. The arms, draw those elbows back. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale, up. This time we drop those hands to under the right thigh. Eyes come to the right toes. 2 breaths. Pressing the ground away. Arms grow up, and that left heel lifts off the mat. Nice big breath as we cactus on the exhale, and drop that left knee down, untuck the toe. Walk that right foot forward a little bit, and then sweep the arms up. If you want to press your hips first forward, do that, then arms go up to the sky. Draw those arms back. I want to see the profile of your face. And breathe. Moving meditation, breath brings us back a little bit, open those ribs. Exhale is going to lift the right toes, send the arms back, chest lowers. Inhale draws you forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale it back. And then you drop the hands to stay. Give a little wiggle of that right foot. You might stay here. Left hand can, if you want to come with me, left hand stays. Right hand finds the hip as you look over to the right wall. 2 breaths. Eyes start to travel up over that right shoulder. Palm goes to the back of the mat. Maybe you take a bind around the back into the left pocket. Keeping the bend, the bind, walk back into the bend of that right knee. Left hand's going to plant under the shoulder. Twist it with the knee down if you want, eyes over that right shoulder, or left toe tucks, left knee raises, and then look up. Slowly extending that right arm all the way to the sky, roll the right shoulder open. Right hand comes down, right foot goes back to meet the left. Plank pose. You can drop the knees if you want. We'll take a chaturanga and a flow here. So knees up or down, body's going to go forward, elbows hug the body on your exhale. Any back bend of choice. And sometimes if you want to try an upward facing dog, just lift the knees off the mat and see how well it goes. Setting it back. Open those knees wide. Child's pose. Take a breath. Keep those elbows off the mat. Let's keep it active. Nice big breaths. Slow rise up to table. Then to plank, lifting those knees off the mat. 2 breaths. If you want movement, rock it side to side. Nice big breath here. Bend the knees on the exhale, downward facing dog. Stretch the chest to the thighs, eyes are in between the legs here. Nice big breath, your chance to get all that bad juju, bad energy out of the mouth on your exhales, and then drawing that new good energy in through the nose when you inhale. Knees bend, heels lift, look at the top of the mat. You decide your journey up. Maybe you hop, step, or tiptoe. Halfway lift, find breath, crown of the head to meet. Exhale is going to fold you down. Bend in those knees, root to rise, up we grow. Exhale, hands to heart space, Tadasana mountain pose. So take a cleansing breath and relax those shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. Inhale, lifts us. Exhale, folds us through center. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop, step, or walk those feet back. Plank pose. Knees up or down. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog when you're ready. 2 breaths on your own. Let's inhale high up on those tippy toes. And exhale it down. Stretch the chest towards the thighs. Inhale up. Exhale down. Bend in the knees, lift the heels, look at the top of the mat. Maybe you try to hop it up. Halfway lift, find breath. Exhale, fold you. Root to rise, bend in those knees, up we grow. Exhale, hands to heart space and alongside the body. Cleansing breath. Drop those shoulders away from the ears. Feel the space. Inhale, lifts us. Slight back bend, eyes to the sky. Exhale, sink the seat, chair pose. 3 more times. Big breath lifts us. Stretch. Exhale, sink the seat, chair pose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink the seat. Inhale, lifts us. Exhale, sinks the seat. Good, staying here this time, lifting all 10 toes, and then setting them down and tucking the booty. So tuck that booty in. Heart is nice and high here. Getting a little light in that right heel, maybe we lift it off the mat, or maybe we go for an early balance here, bringing the foot behind us. Feel free to stretch it out to a little mini warrior 3 if you want. Slowly touching those right toes down, bending in that left knee, high lunge, that right heel stays lifted. So hike yourself up and bend, and then arms go to the sky. 2 breaths. Straighten the leg, take a breath in, exhale, bend in cactus. Maybe a little deeper each time. Inhale up, exhale, bend in cactus. Inhale up, exhale, bend. Big movement here, inhale up. Warrior 2 to the right, so spin that right foot so it's parallel. Recharge the front leg if you want to, and then settle into your warrior 2. Dropping those shoulders away from the ears. Right hand draws back, eyes over the left fingers. To our peaceful triangle, straighten that leg. Hips go back a little bit, lift that left hand to the sky, nice big breath. Paint the sky on your exhale. Left hand goes back, right hand down the right leg. Inhale lifts us up. Pivoting that left foot to face the right side of your mat. Arms out to a T. Take a nice big breath, pinch those shoulder blades together. And the exhale, slow swan dive down. Weight is in your heels, lead with your chest. Halfway lift, no hands, take a breath. And then take your wide-legged fold here. So let's take a twist. Left hand's gonna plant, right arm goes to the sky. Right hand comes down. Plant the hands under your shoulders. Bend in the knees. Slow roll up as slow as you can go. Last thing to lift is the crown of the head. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart space, wide-legged Tadasana. Find your cleansing breath. Building our warrior 2 to the back of the mat. Right foot's going to pivot to face the back of the mat. Left foot is already parallel, and then cartwheel the arms open. Good. This time draw that left arm back, eyes over the right hand. Relax the shoulders down, nice big breath. Reverse that warrior, so keep a bend in the knee, flip that right hand up to the sky, take a nice big breath, and then send the right arm all the way back. Eyes are under that right armpit. Inhale brings us up. Straighten that leg. We're going right for our triangle pose. So hips go back, upper body comes forward. Take a pause. And anywhere it feels good to drop that right hand, maybe on a block or the leg. Tuck the hips in first. Roll that left shoulder open. And then send the left arm up to the sky. So we want the hips tucked in here. Nice big breath is going to lift us up. Pivot those feet towards the left side of your mat and build your warrior 2 to the front of the room. So left foot's going to pivot. Right foot should already be parallel. Arms open to the sides. Nice big breath. Big movement here. That right hand's going to flip up to the sky. Take a big breath, send it all the way overhead, planting it down, taking a twist. Left arm's gonna go to the sky. Left hand comes down to frame out that foot. Planting the hands, big breath is gonna send that left leg all the way back and up. Bend in the knee this time, opening up the hip. You can stay here, you might find circles with that knee. If you have a wild thing in your practice, you could flip your dog. And then straighten out that leg. Feel free to drop it to meet the right, or maybe you take a three-legged flow, rolling forward and taking your chaturanga. Meeting a downward facing dog when you're ready. 2 breaths. Really breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bending in the knees, lift the heels, look at the top of the mat, hop, step, or walk it up. Once you arrive, flat back, take a breath. Exhale's gonna fold you into a ragdoll this time, so bend the knees, connect the chest to let everything hang. Maybe you shake the head yes, shake it no. Maybe you find opposite elbows and sway side to side. Letting everything hang, slow roll up as slow as you can go. The last thing to lift is the crown of the head. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart space and alongside the body. 2 cleansing breaths on your own here. Be really proud of yourself so far. Even if you had to make some changes, notice how you're feeling in the body. Feel the space in the hips, in the spine, in the neck, the shoulders. Feel all that space, maybe even some space up here where you're not in your own thoughts. Going right to the other side here. So inhale up. Exhale down, sink the seat. Adjust your feet so they're closer together. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, chair pose. One more time. Good, staying here. Lifting all 10 toes. And then setting them down and tucking the booty. Chest is up nice and high here. Start to get a little light in that left foot. Maybe you even take a little mini balance by bringing that foot behind you. Or maybe you take a little mini warrior 3. Slow set of those left toes down. Heel's gonna stay lifted back there. High lunge when you're ready. Arms go up, nice kick off those left toes, right bend in the knee. Good. Nice big breath, straighten. Exhale, bend and cactus. Inhale up. Exhale, bend and cactus. One more. Bend and cactus. Inhale, it's gonna lift this. Big movement here. Spin that left foot so it's parallel. Warrior 2 when you're ready. Draw those shoulders down. Recharge that leg if you need to. And if you want to fix or widen your stance, now you can do it. Draw that left arm back. Eyes over the right fingers. And breathe. Peaceful triangle when you're ready. Straighten that leg. Flip the right hand. Lean a little forward. Exhale is going to paint the sky with that right hand. Eyes under the right armpit. Next breath brings us up. Right foot pivots to the left side of your mat. Feet are parallel to each other. Inhale those arms to a T, really pinch the shoulder blades together. Exhale is going to slowly swan dive you down, nice and slow. Hinge in your hips, weight is in your heels. Halfway lift, find breath. Exhale, folds you. Taking a twist, right hand's going to plant, left arm goes to the sky. Left hand comes down, hands under the shoulders, bend in those knees, slow roll up as slow as you can go. Last thing to lift is the crown of the head. Inhale up, exhale, hands to heart. Space, wide-legged Tadasana. Roll those shoulders away from the ears, cleansing breath. Warrior two to the back of the mat, so spin that left foot so it's facing the back of the mat. Right foot is already where it should be. And then cartwheel, open the arms. Drawing that right arm back this time, eyes over the left fingers. Getting ready to reverse our warrior, so flip that left hand to the sky, lean a little bit forward, take a nice big breath, and then send it all the way overhead on your exhale. Up to our triangle pose, inhale, straighten the legs. That left hand comes towards the back of the mat. Hips go back, body goes forward, and then take a pause. And see where it feels good to drop that left hand. Tuck the hips in underneath you and start to roll that right shoulder open. When you're ready, right arm goes to the sky. Sometimes if your butt feels like it's sticking out, coming a little higher on that leg, and then tucking the hips in can help you. Big movement, big breath, brings us up. Pivot the feet, warrior two to the front of the mat. Right foot towards the top of the mat, left foot is already parallel, and then cartwheel, open the arms. One big breath here, shoulders down. Nice bend, maybe bigger in that right knee. Good, going to our easy twist, so big movement. That left hand's going to flip up and windmill it overhead, touching it down. When you do, right arm goes to the sky. Right hand comes down, frame out the foot. Big breath is going to kick that right leg all the way up, bending in the knee, opening up the hip. Finding circles, and feels good. Or maybe you straighten the leg and drop it down to meet the left, or you roll it forward in your three-legged flow. Meeting in child's pose when you're ready. Regroup. If your breathing got choppy, focus on lengthening your breath. I turned the AC off in here, so I'm sweating. 2 breaths as you stretch open the hips, stretch through the back. Good, slow come up when you can. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Stretching the chest towards the thighs, 1 breath on your own. Bending in the knees and lifting the heels. This time we'll look at the hands and walk them to the back of the mat. So nice and slow we go. When you arrive, halfway lift, arms go back, airplane. Exhale, fold. 1 more time. Inhale, arms go back, flat back. Exhale, fold. Slow roll up, as slow as you can go. Last thing to lift is the crown of the head. And we'll walk into one of our balances today. So let's do an easy balance of just a tree today. Sometimes I think that doing a balance and moving and breathing is easier to stick it because we don't worry so much about falling. So let's start by getting heavy in our right foot, a little light in our left. Arms grow up when you take a breath in, and maybe you lift that knee with it. And then set it down on your exhale. So 2 more times like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release, relax. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release, and relax. Inhale, lift. This time opening up that knee, opening the hip, and then start to build any kind of tree. So maybe you come down supported first, finding a few breaths. Maybe you find a calf. And if that feels good, maybe you, with some help, bring the leg to the right thigh. Arms can be anywhere they feel comfortable for you. So sometimes arms up is a little harder. Maybe you like hands at heart space or alongside the body. And breathe. And your body will tell you when it's time to release it. Go ahead and shake that out. And then give yourself a pat on the back, because anytime you balance a minute, a second, a millisecond, whatever, it's always beneficial, always great. Inhale those arms up, and we're going to go right to the other side, so right heel might lift. And relax. Maybe arms go up, right knee goes with us. Exhale is going to set it down and relax you. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, relaxes you. Inhale, lift. This time open up the knee on the exhale. And then we'll build any kind of tree that feels good. So maybe you kickstand it first, or bring it to the calf. Finding your breaths. Maybe you bring the right foot to the left thigh. Arms can go where they feel comfortable for you. Or maybe they just feel better resting on the thigh, or Tadasana, mountain pose and tree. Finding your breath. Taking movement if you need it, to take your mind off falling. Right? Any kind of little movement helps. Sometimes with other extremities, maybe your tree has branches that sway. And your body will tell you when it's time to let that go. And then shake it out. Walking yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifts us. Stretch, slight back bend, hips to meet. Exhale, it's going to swan dive you down, nice and slow. Halfway lift, find breath. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, hop, step, or walk those feet back. Your choice to take a flow here. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog when you're ready. Nice big breaths. Inhale is going to lift that left leg, pointing the toe, bend the knee, open the hip. Drop that left shoulder so it's square to the mat. And then straighten out that leg. Hug it in and roll it forward over to the right elbow and straighten out the leg. So fall in triangle here. Maybe that right arm raises to the sky. Right hand can come down. Hug that knee in. Slow set of it behind the left wrist. Coming to a pigeon pose here. So walk that right foot back, and then don't go down yet. Walk the hands in. Get yourself a little space. Maybe shin goes up. Nice big breaths. when you feel the breath start to slow and the heat start to slow down, you might start to melt it forward. So maybe finding one forearm at a time, letting the head hang and finding 2 breaths. If that feels good and you want to stack the hands and drop the third eye down, you can do that. And if that feels good, maybe you bring everything melted down and breathe. All hip openers are uncomfortable. You shouldn't feel any pinching or any pain, but you might feel discomfort because everybody pretty much does a little bit. But they're necessary to open our hips, to let out emotions, letting anything out that we're feeling. And usually when we're still like this, our mind starts to go places, so make sure you stay on your mat. And if you need to tell yourself anything, praise yourself for coming to your mat today. Praise yourself for everything that your body just did for you and that we were able to do all that. Some people have a hard time just getting up and down off the floor, so be really amazed with yourself, however this went today. Now, as slowly as we built this, we'll come out of it just as slowly. So if you're melted down, find one forearm at a time and find your breath. And then find one hand at a time under the shoulders, nice big breath. Lifting the chin up and breathing. Good, starting to tuck that right toe behind us. Wiggle it up a notch to take the pressure off your hip. Lift the knee off the mat, and then big breath is going to send that left leg all the way back and up. Stretch the leg out, bend the knee, open the hip. And then left foot's going to come down to meet the right. Drop the knees down. Quick child's pose, stretch. One more side here. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, sending those hips up. Stretching the chest towards the thighs. Nice big breath is going to raise that right leg up. Bend in the knee, open the hip. Stretching that chest towards the left thigh. And then straighten out that leg, hug it in, and roll it forward over towards the left elbow. And then straighten out that leg. Left arm's going to raise to the sky. Hips are nice and high here. Left hand finds the mat, and we hug that knee in. Slow set of it behind the right wrist. Walk that left foot back. Walk the hands in. Take a breath, get some space. Finding one forearm at a time and breathing. Maybe you melt it forward like you did on the other side, stacking the hands, dropping the third eye, and finding breaths. Or maybe you melt it completely down. Lengthening those inhales and exhales. Same thing on this side. Try to keep your focus here. And as uncomfortable as you might be right now, find things that you did on your mat today where you were feeling strong and powerful, mindful, full of willpower, fluid when you needed to be, gentle when you did. If you're melted down one at a time, find your forearms, let the head hang, and find 2 breaths. One at a time. Find the palms and lift the chest, lift the chin, 2 breaths. Tucking the left toe behind you, wiggling it up a notch, lifting the knee up. Big breath is going to send that right leg all the way back and up, and bend in the knee, open the hip. Right foot comes down to meet the left, open the knees, child's pose. This time it's okay to rest those elbows down. Third eye to the mat. Nice big breath. Dragging the hands under the shoulders. Slow roll up of the spine. Last thing to lift is the head. Cleansing breath. Planting the hands on either side of you. Start to sweep those legs around to the top of the mat. Beautiful here. Pointing the toes, zipping the legs together. Then leaning back and finding one elbow at a time here. Coming to a fish pose. So take a nice big breath as you puff up the chest away from the ground, and then drop the head back if it feels good. Open the mouth on your exhale is letting all that energy out. Next breath is going to bring the head back. Slow release of yourself down from your elbows to your back. And then hug that right knee into the chest. Wiggling out that ankle. Slow drop of it over to the right with a flex in the foot. Maybe left hand finds the hip. And then slow drag across the body, taking a little reclined twist here. So left hand's going to find the right thigh, right hand can fall out, and then drag that left knee over to the right. Both shoulders are stacked, eyes over the right shoulder. Slow roll to the back. And extend that leg up to the sky. Lower the heel all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale that left knee in, flex through the foot. Take a second to stretch through the back of the leg, hugging it in. And then left hand's going to find the kneecap. Flex through the foot and start to open the hip. Right hand can find the hip for support. Bringing the knees up through center. Switching out the hands. Left hand can fall open. Right hand's going to drag that knee across the body over to the right. Keeping both shoulders melted onto the mat. Slow roll to the back. Left knee comes into the left armpit, and then we hug that right knee into the right. You can stay here rocking side to side if you want, or maybe you build your modified happy baby by kicking the feet up. Hands can come to the thighs or the shins, or maybe peace fingers to the big toes. Just make sure your lower back is connected here, and maybe you rock side to side. Without flinging your feet wherever they are, drag those knees in towards each other. Give yourself one last hug in with those knees. Draw the nose up. And exhale is going to set the feet down and relax the belly. Good, 2 bridge poses here. Walk the feet a step in towards the sit bones. Palms down by your sides. You might even feel the heels with your fingertips. Nice big breath as you lift the hips up. Eyes stay looking up the sky, feeling all four corners of your feet here. And if you need a little extra, maybe those heels lift. Watch the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Slow release down of the hips. If the heels were lifted, they follow after. And then take a hug in with the knees. Nice big breath in. Exhale, is going to relax the feet down to your second bridge pose. Soften through the belly. Walk the feet a step in. Nice big breath as you look up. Exhale, lift those hips maybe a little higher this time. Feeling all four corners of the feet. And breathing, watching the belly. And if you took that extra, maybe the heels lift. Slow release of those hips down, and then the heels. Hug the knees into the chest. Find any last movements you might need before you meet in our final resting pose, our Shavasana. So if you're ready, walk those feet to the top of the mat and away from each other. Let the toes fall open. And then pick up your shoulders off the mat. Walk them a step away from your ears. Take up space. Starting to shut down the eyes. Melt the shoulders into the mat. 2 cleansing breaths. Drawing it in through the nose. And exhaling it out. 1 more on your own. Staying here, welcoming back relaxation into the body, calmness, stillness into the body. And you are welcome to stay here as long as recommended, which is as long as you possibly can because your days are usually busy. But for video purposes, we're just going to speed it up a little bit. So we are going to slowly bring in movement to the body, rolling out the wrists or the ankles, or maybe rocking the head side to side. And then hugging the knees into the chest. If you need a big hug, maybe you find the feet, or draw your nose up. And then extending that right arm all the way overhead. Slow drop of the knees over to the right side. Coming to your fetal pose here. So using your right arm as a pillow, hips are stacked on top of each other and your eyes are closed down. Find 2 nice big breaths in and out through your nose here. And then allow yourself to settle in. Allow your head to get heavy on your arm and allow your ribs to connect to the earth. And then notice all the space you might feel in your body or in your mind. You might feel a little lighter in the body, even a little lighter in the mind or the thoughts. And without disturbing any of that peace that you've given yourself, gently use your hands to walk yourself up. Keeping the eyes closed down, find a comfortable position on your mat. When you arrive, send the crown of the head tall and relax those shoulders away from the ears. Keeping the eyes closed down, take a nice big breath in through the nose and send energy up the spine. Feel the crown of the head get taller. Feel yourself get a little lighter. And then slow exhale down the spine, sending the breath to the sit bones, and then feel yourself get heavier and more grounded. 1 more time on your own as you take a breath. Energy travels up the spine, crown of the head gets a little taller, a little lighter. Slow on the exhale, sending it down the spine, into the sit bones, and feel yourself get heavier and grounded. We find prayer hands at heart space. We lift the chin on the breath in. And we drop the chin down to the chest on the exhale. One last cleansing breath on your own. Thank you so very much for sharing your practice with me this morning and for allowing me to guide you in mine. Always be a shining light out there for everyone in the world. Never change that. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Happy Sunday. Hope to see you during the week. Hope you feel great after your practice. Hydrate. It's very hot outside. Namaste.